Wake up call, pal. Go to work.
Alright, I think that's enough for Sunrise Synth. Should we dive in? Right, so welcome in. European session today. thought we'd have a look at a few things together because it has been, Bitcoin has been really silent over the last 48 hours, hasn't it? It's still holding our invalidation. If you were looking at the charts with us and the video at the beginning of the week, so I put a Monday video out as we were pulling back, obviously, from those 125k highs. Okay, 4k being the invalidation for ETH in the intermediate price levels, and 110 being the invalidation for BTC if it wanted to cut a little bit lower. We've actually just clipped into 112 on BTC, and just a cat's cock hair off. Yeah, cat's cock hair off 4k. Tom Lee's price action, if you're following Tom Lee, the new MicroStrategy buyer of ETH. Yeah, he was looking at 4064 or something and hit it to a tick. He had his stupid charts open, Ichimoku cloud charts open on ETH, and said, I'm buying here. But good on him. He's got a good level to buy in at. Okay, so yeah, just on the multiverse chart at the minute, in the TRDR console, trader console, grab a link from below for a free trial. ETH looking good. Just watching LDO today, I think that's had a really good pullback after leading pretty much most of the market over the last couple of months. LDO's had a good pullback. Not a lot to say on Sol. It kind of bottomed. I say bottomed. I'm not going to call it a macro bottom or anything at the minute, but it kind of like put in that low with everything else. So not a lot to say on Sol. I'm not too enthusiastic. Yo, what's up, Sin? What's up, Alexi? I'm not too enthusiastic about trading Sol too much. I'm more inclined to just play some ETH beta plays and BTC, obviously. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to have a quick look at where we've come from and where we're potentially going. And I just want to give you a little bit of a macro view as well as to why I potentially think the highs on BTC are not in. Obviously, we've had a local high, okay, of 125. So we all took profit on that the other week. That was very nice. If you were up late in the Asian session, you might have even been inclined to put short positions on that, okay? So few things I want to show you. We'll dive into BTC first and foremost, and then we'll have a look at the alts. But yeah, I do just initially like the look of ETH here, really getting down to that 4k level, holding the level, spot and perps bid, and potentially now, I mean, just keep it absolute trading 101, baby pips, easy. You know, you're potentially just going for these higher lows. You've got a higher high already on the price action, slightly, okay? Little tickle of a high on ETH, okay? So higher low, potential higher low if we come down and fill some of this area out on ETH. So if you're not in ETH, okay, don't be a crybaby in the casino. You've got potential, if we hold this 4.2 zone, to trade this onwards and upwards. That's what I would be looking at on ETH. BTC, I'm still not sure whether it wants to come lower, okay? We have wicked a couple of weekly levels down here, and if you're a sharpshooting trader and you did get in anywhere down here on 112 level, then it's very valid. It's very valid. But I do have to say, higher time frame, whether it's today, tomorrow, whenever it can take time, whether we float up to 120, you know, in the intermediate week and then come back down, form a bit of a range, which I am inclined to say we do have. I think BTC is going to have a little bit of a slowdown now, at least over the next week or so, I would say. I don't think it's going to rocket back up to 125k in any way, shape or form here. You know, and yeah, if you are in from here, 110 is still your invalidation. It has to be, okay? So, first and foremost, full window. Let's have a look at BTC and what is going on. I will keep an eye on the OBS screen as well. I've done all the updates, so hopefully it won't freeze today. But let's have a look then. So I'm just going to go to a 15-minute view, and I just want to have a look at the bid ask. Obviously, over the last 24, even 48 hours, we've had a lot of bid on BTC. So I'm not going to get bearish here, even if we decide to come down into this zone, and there's a couple of reasons why we still could come down to there, okay? Weekly levels, daily levels. We'll have a look at a little bit of classic TA, but I'm going to keep a very clean chart open today. I'm not going to get any indicators up or anything like that. I just want to have a look at very clean trading levels, all right? So with that being said, very, very simply, let's run through BTC quickly, then we can have a look at some other stuff, and I'll just point out, while we're on BTC, why I think the macro top is not quite in yet. Okay, so first and foremost, this was our previous level that we bumped up to. Okay, so we tickled this level before we ran up to 125k that we caught. Okay, so very, very nice. We've still got some bid here. Okay, Binance USDT, we've still got some bid here. No major overlays at the minute, okay, but we still do have some bid. Bitfinex bid in this, Bitstamp have been bid in this, Coinbase Pro have been bid in this as well. They've just reinforced that 110k level as well on Coinbase Pro, so I do like to see that. Okay, Gemini Twins bid in. Okay, Kraken have got some bid here. Qcoin with some bid as well. And then if we just have a quick look at the derivatives, okay, so CoinM selling here. I wouldn't put too much weight on this really, unless it was in confluence with other exchanges and markets as well. They've got some offers there. Fuck them, to be honest. Unless it's in confluence with something else, then I'm not too bothered. Okay, the all important really is Binance Perps. Okay, so Binance Perps have really been defending this area. We've filled a lot of this demand in here now. Okay, no major levels sitting on price right here, right now. So not a lot to see here in this European session. And then you'll all know as well that BitMEX have been filling bid down here as well. And if we go any lower, they are absolutely rock solid with a 69 ratio, a little bit lower. So all looking quite good. Another thing to show you that you will be aware of if you follow along on my charts is as we came down, this is what we were looking for at the beginning of the week. Okay, if we come down, we wanted to see some bullish CVD divergences. That is what we are getting. Okay, what are we also seeing on the chart? So I apologize to the OGs in here that already know, but as I've said time and time again, okay, sometimes when you're looking at trading data, it should be very boring to look at. It should be a process of opening these templates in the trader console, having those levels that you want to have a look at, maybe getting involved in, opening each template. Okay, do I have bid there? Yes. Have I got the volume divergences I was looking for? Yes, you do. Okay, is the open interest really low? Yes, it is. Do we have a tickle of negative funding? Yes, we do. I'm not a major fan of LS ratio. It doesn't make me put a trade on, okay, but the LS ratio dropping there as well, which is nice to see. So yeah, bullish divergences confirmed. Low open interest. Why do we want to see low open interest? It's just easier to float price up, okay? Not many contracts getting involved down here. Okay, we've seen that bid, but not many contracts getting involved. Not a major battle in the books here. So, you know, even if you wick lower, okay, into that, you know, under that 112, it's not going to then take much to float price up. So keeping it very simple. A couple of other things to look at is the all important on the higher time frame. And again, I will try and run through these quickly. Okay, look where the liquidities come from. Yo, what's up, Serkan? Look where that liquidities come from. And I did tweet this out the other day. Okay, you'll have seen my nice rocket sign at the bottom and poo sign at the top. Okay, but if you're unfamiliar with this, go and check it out in the playlist. Okay, so this is Liquidity King template. I've got new parameters on here as well. So upper bounds on BTC seem to be 3.5 billion, lower bound on BTC 2 billion now. God, I remember a few years ago when the upper bound was 1 billion. That was when FTX was around. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Okay, spot market upper bound 2 billion now, and the lower bound, yeah, I'll call it, yeah, I'll call it 1 billion. Okay, but keep an eye on that. But look at the open interest, and this is an open interest RSI. Yes, we have an RSI metric on the open interest. Say what you want about that, it's fucking brilliant. Historically, really good. Funding on here now, and just liquidations as well, just for ref, but again, not trading indicators. But this is nice to see higher time frame, especially since we wicked down here. Really good. Nice reset on the market. Okay, nice reset on the market, high time frame. So I can't get bearish down here. All right, I'm not going to get bearish down here. Can we go down and attack 110? It's just going to give you better value. Okay, that's still your invalidation. It's going to give you better value. All right, so liquidity, high time frame, looking good. While we are in here, I just want to show you a few levels. Okay, so 4 hour, can I zoom that out? Yes, I can. Okay, so 4 hour, we are kind of, let's just draw this really quick, and I'm going to go, I normally go top down, I'm going to go bottom up. bottom up. No, that is not a reference. Okay, so we are in the value area lows. Let me just get that style. Developing value area, developing POC. I don't always have those on. Look, we are in the value area lows of this range. Okay, so it's no surprise to see bid down here, is it? Okay, it shouldn't be a surprise. You short at the top where you're getting value on the sale of the market. Okay, point of control, I try and avoid a little bit, but you could have even shorted the point of control there. Okay, at 118 for a nice day trade down. We are in the value area lows of this range. If you don't put your value on there, just draw a line like I do. I prefer just to have a straight line. So 4 hour, not bad. Let me just reset that. Not bad. You are in a range. We do tend to get these ranges, obviously, and deviate the lows. Much higher time frame. So let's now go to a daily chart. I'm just going to get rid of that. One thing to say is I don't like being down here again. I don't like to test these levels too many times. If we are going to wick last 2 weeks of lows, you need to be below 112, don't you? So let's quickly, very quickly, go to a daily chart. Okay, I want to keep this as absolute baby pips simple as possible. So the trend is not bad. Have I got log on there? I don't know why I've got log on there. I don't think it makes too much difference to that trend. Maybe it does. Looks a bit parabolic. I'm going to keep it on for now. Look, the trend is still intact. I would say higher time frame, even if we range a bit here, maybe we bounce up, come back down. You know, these are trades you want to be taking now as we potentially form this range for the next couple of weeks. I think it could be. I'm actually not in favour of breaking 125 anytime in the next week or so. I think we range a bit here, and that's what I want to play, like you did back here. You know, I love trading these sorts of ranges. But the trend is still very much intact. I think depending on how you scale this, there's potential of flirting and breaking this daily trend. But I'm not too fussed about that if I see good demand in the books. Okay, we're still going to play it. Yeah, we are still going to play it. So look, it's not amazing to see us back down here, but deviations, yes. I think you could potentially, and I'm just going to keep this so fucking stupid and easy. I think you could potentially even come back to that. I'd actually just call it kind of like 107, 108, you know? I think you could even just come back there, test this previous area, and does that previous resistance become support? You know, 107, 108, somewhere around there. And if you see demand down there, nothing to fear. Still nothing to fear. Okay, so daily chart, not bad, not bad. If we bounce, okay, from here, and then you really start to see that supply attack, that should be in red really, shouldn't it? If you really see that supply attacking, then you know that that was kind of a bit of profit taking. And there's another thing I want to show you in a minute about the supply up at that region in comparison to this region here. Okay, I just want to show you something in a sec. So look, if we bounce and the supply really starts attacking, yeah, okay, maybe it's over for a while. How long? Don't know, but maybe it's over for a while. Okay, so yeah, just something to think about. Right, next I just want to show you, let me just get rid of that bollocks on there. I just want to show you a weekly chart. Okay, so at the beginning of the week, unfortunately, weekly chart still looks great, doesn't it? Still got my Livermore funnel on there. Okay, so this weekly chart, no shaking it, and this is why I put the video out on Monday. We wicked that high there at 23.8, and that is a swing failure pattern. Your forex traders call that a pin bar, wouldn't they? Almost. I don't know how far the wick needs to be, but they would call that a pin bar. Okay, so bearish swing failure pattern on the weekly, and we've got reaction. So what have we done? Again, I'm sorry for the OGs in here, but I really just want to keep this fucking simple as possible. What have we done so far? We've taken that from 2 weeks ago. Okay, what I thought would be really nice, and we might not get it because you don't always get what you want. What I thought would be nice, knowing that 110 is our invalidation, would be to take that as well. Okay, so that 111,900. So, you know, I've had some limit bids down here, which haven't filled at the minute. Been quite open with the guys in the private Discord about that. You know, I've sat on my hands all week. I'm kind of watching the price action, more inclined to get involved in ETH and a couple of the other alts that have pulled back well and look nice. Knowing that I think BTC is going to slow down. If I was of the frame of mind that BTC is going to absolutely rocket up from here. I'd probably lean heavily more into BTC, but I think it's probably open to a little bit of range around here, and you can just, you know, make it even more obvious to yourself. 120, 119, 120 is going to be your obvious resistance. That's probably the 4-hour value area high of the range as well. But yeah, if we come back down and we can wick into this zone, that would be very, very nice. I think, knowing that we've got that 110 in validation level. And then if we just look at a weekly chart as well, yeah, 109 or somewhere around here. If we get a bigger deviation in the coming weeks, and I'm not sure if it's going to come anytime soon, but I do like to have these levels in mind. You know, maybe we range now for a couple of weeks, which will really fucking piss people off, won't it? But I will absolutely love it because it's good to trade. So maybe you range, you know, and do this. And then come October, which I've actually got a fib time for, fresh fib time. I'm not going to jump into trading view at the minute. I've actually closed some windows down today in the respect of the screen freezing the week, hoping that nothing's interfering. Because normally I have trading view open. I have the trader console open on 3 monitors, and then I have my brokers open as well as Twitter and all the rest of the shit. But maybe we range here a bit, right? And then what if you, in the coming months, maybe into October, Q4, you take those lows there, right? And then that's the low you want for a bigger move up. Because I don't think this is our high, right? So now I will delve into a couple of reasons why I don't think it is, all right? As a sharpshooting day trader, I don't really give a fuck about whether the high is in or not. But obviously for managing spot portfolios and stuff, you have to have an opinion, don't you? Right? You have to, right? You're holding a bag full of fucking fartcoin and Bitcoin's putting in a macro top, right? And Sol does at the same time. Is your fartcoin going to continue up to 10x? No. Is it bollocks? So, you know, whatever you're holding, you need to have a little bit of opinion on these things, don't you? Okay. So what I want to show you is the last high we had. Okay. The last really, so this is just, I don't think I've shared this too much, and it's not something that I trade off, but I like this chart just to give me a real rough estimate of supply, funding, open interest and stuff. Now, the heaviest supply I've seen in the last year, okay, so if I put on a big swing position short, I want to see the same sort of stuff that we saw here at this 110 level on BTC, okay? You know, and at previous highs, I've seen the same at previous highs as well. So we're going to look at that together, right? So what we've got here is the OBD, and I am on a higher time frame because I just have to draw examples here. Higher time frame, OBD supply. That's your supply there. Binance, Coinbase Pro, Bitstamp, Bybit, you know, a lot of the others as well, okay? Look at the comparison there in the supply at the 110, and I will show you this on an OBD overlay as well. Okay, we'll dive into that in a second. I'll have to put it on a 1 hour time frame because there's a lot of data involved here. But look at that supply. We haven't had supply like that as we attack. So when we were attacking this 110, I was calling it final boss. I was, you know, joking, calling it final boss. But I know since that low there in April that everyone was getting mega bearish on and we rose up, I've not seen heavy supply like that since, all right? Not seeing it. Look at your funding as well, okay? Especially on Bybit. Just watch the Bybit degens as well. Funding went absolutely extreme. Open interest, we've had some highs granted. So open interest high, funding high. Funding, obviously not anything you would enter a trade off, but it's sentiment. Obviously, you need to keep it in mind. Absolute mega funding, mega supply. Right. What I want to show you is that on the OBD, but I will have to look at it on a 1 hour time frame. Okay, let me just reset this. A lot of data loading up, so just bear with me. Lagging down a bit. I'll show you this. Okay, so that was this is where we took profit, okay, from the last couple of weeks of trading. Okay, so that was like 2 a.m. my time. Okay, so, you know, In hindsight, should I put some short positions on there? Yes, but you are battling an all-time high. You're battling price discovery. I was so tired, fuck's sake. Do I really want to just short this? I could have just put a really, really light short on and just let it run, you know, fire and forget kind of trade. But sometimes when you are gunning for all-time highs, you do what, you know, there was that top level there. So I was more inclined to take profit, go to bed, and then we're already back here. I was like, all right, okay, fucking hell. Okay, let's trade something else. Right, bear this in mind. You had that run of high open interest there, as you can see on the RSI metric. You had that run of high open interest. 125 was well defended, so it was a good TP on longs. Maybe we just came back to here and then attacked again. Okay, that could have been the case. Okay, we're here now. Okay, so let's not, you know, beat around the bush and, you know, hindsight kind of trading. Right, bear this in mind here. Okay. Spot market, I am on the spot market because it's important, you know, spot players are getting out the market. Have a look at derivatives confluence, but if these guys are absolutely offloading, you want to know about it, don't you? Okay, so spot was selling into here, absolutely no doubt about it, 125k, right. It was the 23rd of November, look at that, I've already got it ready. Okay, so this was our 110 boss battle that we really struggle with. Look at that. Okay, now if I go to the other exchanges, which I will do, I'm just going to have to reload the data. Look at that. So you've got double top levels tight together. So your invalidation was even better. Okay, so your stops would have actually been, I say 110, 100k. So your stops would have been, I keep saying 110, don't I? Your stops would have been there, 101. Okay, and look at that. Okay, so that is absolutely, and then aggregated supply. Okay, so what we didn't have, if you look back now, is we didn't have aggregated supply. So all exchanges in confluence, the white here is aggregated supply, absolutely aggressive selling. Let me just go show you Coinbase Pro as well. I'm gonna have to go back if I can. Will it load up quickly for me? Yep, there you go. Okay, so Coinbase Pro as well, absolutely mega aggressive. They got a bounce there, and then it was even defended again. So I just want to draw your attention to this. I've not seen aggression like this. And then I think even if you go to the perps market a little bit further along, okay, I'm going to show you that as well, actually. Bear with me. There's just a lot of data in here, so it's not my broadband. It is just trying to load all this data from previous. That's why I've got it on a 1 hour time frame. I'll close the window if it fails to load. And then I think even remembering, yeah, perps got super aggressive, didn't they? So perps like kind of defended that area, didn't they? We came back down and perps remained bullish into the bounce, which is a good trade. You know, that is a great trade, isn't it? But you'll often find that the perps market in crypto will remain bullish into the highs, right? Because it's just nature of the beast. They just fucking do. Hence why your funding goes up and everything. You know, we pull back and everyone goes, yeah, well, you know, it's not over. It's going to so-and-so, okay? I've not seen aggression still. Okay, so this was back in November 24. I've not seen aggression like this from the perps market yet on the supply side, okay, in this run up. I've seen it. I've seen profit taking. We've had the high open interest. We've had funding flirting with going up a tiny bit, but not much. But I've not seen aggression like this in confluence with the spot market, okay? So just wanted to point that out to you. Another thing I want to show you is, so just imprint these kind of charts into your memoirs, okay? Another thing I want to show you is just the on-chain data, and I apologize for the white screen. Bitcoin Magazine Pro website, which is the fucking worst name I've ever known. So this is Phil Swift. So if you're unfamiliar with Phil Swift, go find him on Twitter. He's the founder of he put back in the day, Phil, who's a bit of an OG British guy, put all this together, and it used to be looking into Bitcoin or something. He put all these charts together, real on-chain OG from well back in the day, well before I got into crypto. And then Bitcoin, what were they called? They weren't even called Bitcoin Magazine Pro. I can't fucking remember. Anyway, I digress. They bought Phil out, I think, anyway. I think he maybe still has some input. But anyway, on-chain data, there's a wealth of stuff you can go through here. And I think I've shared in the past as well, there's a trading view indicator for this, which I can share again. I believe I'll try and find a link for it after the stream. But yeah, on-chain data is still very, very chilled, okay? Back in 2021, we tickled into the extremity there. The volatility was high, obviously, back in the day. Okay, when I got involved back in 2017, probably 2018, volatility was a lot higher. We know that Bitcoin has calmed down, hasn't it? As all you punks have sold your coins to the bankers. We trade more like a tech stock now, don't we? But even back in 2021, we came up there. Now, is this still valid? I would say so. Yeah, you know, I don't think we're gonna top unless all on-chain data is in Confluence as well. So when you look at stuff like this, when you look at the supply side in the market, funding rates, you draw yourself a picture, don't you? You build a recipe. And I just wanted to point this out once again. Okay, so look, I don't trade off this shit, okay, day to day. It's not something you trade off. But from a macro perspective, maybe the top's not in. Okay, I say maybe. Macro top, and maybe we put in some lows still, yes, of course, but can we run higher into 2026? Yes, I still believe so. All right, guys, so just wanted to point a few things out there on Bitcoin. So yeah, gone over that for a little bit now. What's happening on Bitcoin? Yeah, not too much here, is it? Okay, so let's just have a look. Have we still got some levels supporting? Yeah, absolutely. Slow, isn't it? If you want to get involved in Bitcoin and you haven't caught any of these lows here with this kind of 111, 112 region, what do you want to see? In reality, you want to see the orders, as always, get aggressive under price, which we're not seeing yet. Bitcoin slowed down a little bit. You want to see either spot levels come up and support price, or the perps market. Okay, so you've got some perps market orders filling here. You want to see these guys get super aggressive as well. Yo, what's up, Victor? Okay, so yeah, you've got some orders coming in here. Not too bad, but yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a battle in the books, to be honest. All right, guys, so look, I hope that has covered big boy Bitcoin. Not a lot to see here. 110 is still your invalidation. We'll review at the end of the live stream as well, as long as it doesn't bloody freeze on me. But yeah, spot or bid, they've been filling. We do have CVD bullish divergences. Liquidity is low. Everything's looking quite good. Just don't put it past having a little bit more of a dip in the coming days or even weeks. I would treat that as a deviation. Knowing high time frame liquidity is good and all the rest of the data that we have just pointed out. Vitalik's coin, yeah, again, look, this was at the beginning of the week, Monday, as we were grinding down. 4K was always your invalidation. Why was it your invalidation all week, really? Well, it's just the biggest level. It's the biggest level defending 4K there. Yes, you've got that level there, but it's pretty light, okay? So spot market's really, really filled here. I think the perps market has been quite aggressive on ETH as well, as we can see here, okay? You can see these orange overlays, really, really aggressive bidding. But again, big levels coming in there, defending that 4K. And then as we see on perps, ooh, that guy's just moved his order up. They want to get involved. I see you, Tom. I see you, Mr. Lee. Yeah, so look, ETH needs to change structure a little bit after its pullback, doesn't it? As I said right at the beginning, you've got a tickle of a higher high here. Keep it really, really baby pit simple. Potential higher low. Is this your high alert here? I would say if you're not involved in ETH and you want to get involved, 4.2K, you want this little zone to hold here and then to volley back up. I think even ETH had some bullish divergences into the lows. Let's have a look. Yeah, not as clean as BTC, was it? Not as clean as BTC, but yeah, certainly on that one there yesterday, that was a good one there for that higher low. Bullish divergence is coming up. Open interest nuked. So, people trying to long after that bounce, they got nuked out the market, and then we go back up right into the US session. So, yeah, all looking good. I'm not going to look at liquidity on ETH, to be honest. BTC is still the leader of the pack. But as BTC slows down, and I'm not going to talk alt season. I'm not interested in alt season and ETH rotation and all that shit. But I'm just looking for what is still trending. ETH is still trending, LDO is still trending, Sol pretty much still trending, Hype still trending. You know, a lot of those bigger coins still looking good. Okay, and they're performing even over the last 48 hours better than BTC. Yeah, so if you've been sat on your ass watching BTC for the last 48 hours, maybe you wanted to get involved in ETH. Yeah, so yeah, watch for over the coming sessions. I would say watch for this 4.2 on ETH. Okay, and I think even if BTC drops a little bit, ETH can still potentially hold this region. Yeah, keep an eye on that. Sol, Soy Boy, Sol. Yeah, not a lot to see really. Offers disappearing up, so that's, you do want to see that, but no real bid chasing price up. Looks similar to ETH, doesn't it? It's probably doing the same things as ETH. Yeah, so yeah, keep an eye on that. Screen's not frozen, has it? I'm still seeing Bitcoin Magazine on the YouTube. It's not frozen, has it? Give me a shout if not. OBS looks all right, doesn't it? Yeah, OBS is all right. Yeah, so Sol, it will follow everything else. I'm just not too fussed for actually trading it intraday, to be honest. Let's have a look at what Perps is doing. Similar to ETH, yeah, similar to ETH. So you want this region to hold 180 on Sol. Keep it simple, 180 on Sol. You know, and as you look at those higher time frame structures, what is still on trend as BTC forms this bit of a range, you know, you might get a little bit more punch out of trading some of these. Yeah, Hype, yeah, look, Hype can be a bit of a mess sometimes. Unfortunately, we don't have spot data for Hype. I don't even know if it's on Binance Spot, to be honest. But you know, I like the way it's grinding these lows. I'm still getting these alerts. Someone just popping in there for an order at 39.5. I think I posted on Twitter yesterday that that would be good value on Hype. Open interest nuked here though, so historically when you get those nukes on open interest and you've seen some bid come in, that could be quite nice. Let's run through a couple of the others. LTC, which rebranded as a meme coin, of course it did, and then it did very well from it. Yeah, not a lot to see from LTC. I quite like trading LTC now and again, just because the order books are good. Keeping an eye on LDO, mentioned this to the guys first thing this morning, because it's had a mega pullback. It's getting some bid here from Spot and from Perps. Okay, so Perps quite happy to defend this area, so you can see how closer this actual bid defense is on LDO, tighter than what I'm seeing on Hype. So mentioned to the guys this morning, I like LDO here. Quickly show you a 4-hour chart on LDO on a clean basis. Let me just go to this one. I'll go to that one there. So LDO actually led ETH out the, I know it plays as a little bit of a beta coin to ETH, obviously. It kind of led the market the other week. It really did. I'm not going to call any kind of, yeah, I'm not going to draw trend lines. Fucking hellfire. It's crystal ball stuff, isn't it? I do like drawing a trend line though, just because that's how you first learn, isn't it? But yeah, LDO just pulling back to this level. Let's have a look at a daily. Let's go top down on LDO. Where we at? Yeah, nice. Okay, so we've got some old levels of confluence there that we've pulled back to. You're pulling back to these wicks. I don't always like wicks, to be honest. I prefer the opens and closes. So 1.19, does it get back to there? Maybe not. Maybe this is it. And you've got wicks here on the weekly, but if you actually go to a daily, there's probably a little bit better price action. Yeah, maybe not. You're looking at 122 there. But there's bid here, so gonna take it, to be honest. You've had 1, 2, 3 days here, right? You've had 3 days here sat taking this price action. Wick, bit of a bet, you know, a bit of a bullish candle that comes back down. Today we've taken the lows off that daily candle. 4-hour chart. Let's have a look at 4-hour trend. It's just trending, isn't it? Nice pullbacks. It has these pullbacks, doesn't it? Trends up, pulls back, trends up. If you're very patient on higher time frames, you may well get rewarded from stuff like this. So yeah, I like LDO here. Nice, easy, tight invalidation. What's your invalidation on LDO at the minute? For me personally, I'm just watching the perps charts. I want it to run now. It's really well bid on perps. It's got some bid on BTC. Okay, so look at your BTC. Okay, I think I've even, yeah, so I've even got this here, this little triangle as a LDO BTC alert. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with the console, where the fuck have you been? How are you even trading, you nerds? No offense to anyone. Okay, so I've got here a, where the fucking hellfire is it? There you go. Alt BTC, is it called Alt? Jesus Christ, I can't remember what I've called everything, can I? BTC, Alt Diamond, BTC Alt Double Bands. Sorry, I went absolutely retardio there. So BTC Alt Double Bands tells me when BTC versus one of the alts gives me a in the 1 to 2.5% region and double, okay, 2.5 to 5, a massive bid ask 70 ratio. Okay, so just so you're familiarize yourself with that. It's nothing, it's not momentum, it's not one of these cipher indicators, it's not lagging, it don't repaint. That is an alert on the system. So I do really like the confluence seeing BTC bid. It's a messy chart, isn't it? Look, you just ignore all this. Just know that it's telling you something, yeah? You don't be, we always say this, don't be a strict alert trader, but just acknowledge that the alerts are telling you something, okay? So BTC's bid, spot's bid, perps, very bid. My invalidation at the minute, I want to see it run now, okay? I want to see it run. If these bids on perps start to fail in that 124 region there, okay, 124 region. If we come down with everything else, then yeah, we're kind of in the 124 region. I would cut that and say, oh fuck's sake, okay, we need to go a little bit lower. But I'll tell you now, LDO is the type of coin that can do. You get familiar when you've been trading these shitbag coins for a while, but LDO is the kind of coin that can do its own thing sometimes. Okay, so if I'm kind of saying to you guys, 110 still the invalidation, maybe that takes time. You know, we're in the European session. Can ETH and BTC come a little bit lower? You know, let's have a look at ETH. So you know, someone's just trying to bid ETH up there. I'm saying that ETH can come down to this 4.2, but I'm in an LDO long, right? Okay, well, it doesn't matter sometimes, especially if you've got that BTC bid on LDO. Sometimes you've just got to get in, yeah, because this invalid, you know, if it starts to do this, you know, you're going to get invalidated, obviously. But it's the kind of coin that you want to see this run now, okay? And then say BTC and ETH take a little bit of a plunge today over the next 24 hours. Well, maybe LDO just gets that higher low, right? You know, a bit of a drop there and then runs, okay? So sometimes you've just got to get in and just take the trades, okay? So that is LDO. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, give me a shout. If there's any coins you need to look at, give me a shout as well. Hype LTC, LDO, CRV, what's DeFi doing? Yeah, I saw this first thing. Actually, last night, some of the DeFi coins and some of the memes actually have had offers waiting above. I'm not just going to short anything like this just because there's one spot limit offer on the asset, to be honest. You need a little bit more. This could just be one entity trying to get out of the market or take a bit of profit. You know, you can quite easily push through these zones, but I'm aware that some altcoins, I think Aave does as well. Yeah, someone's doing a little bit of selling on Aave as well. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Does it want to make me short these alts? Not quite yet. Okay, just imagine, but yeah, just bear that in mind. Pepe mentioned this to the guys in Discord yesterday. Pepe right back onto trend. I think it could come down again, right back onto its 4-hour trend. Let me just show you that really quickly. Reset chart. 4-hour. Yep. Okay. Yep. Just right back to trend. I think even the daily chart looks good. Look at this. Just really good. Comes back. Just holds. Nice. So what you want to see, let me just go back, 15-minute basis. Yes, so I want to see this level hold on Pepe, even if it comes back a little bit. Want to see this kind of region hold on Pepe, onwards and upwards. When there are offers on the bigger memes like Pepe, it does tend to suppress price, so just be aware of that. If you get a bounce today with everything else, if you get a bounce. Just be aware that these can hold price for a certain amount of time. Perps, same there as well. So if you were getting in there yesterday, absolutely, you know, it was the right trade. Couple of the other memes then. Pengu is doing well, and I do actually like the 4-hour chart on Pengu as well, and I think it will continue to do well as long as ETH continues to do well, and I guess you could say all other assets as well. But yeah, Pengu doing nice. Fartcoin 4-hour chart I think looks good again. It's held this area, and what you can almost sometimes say to yourself is, let me just go back to a clean chart again. What you can sometimes say to yourself is, I'm not going to call that complex head and shoulders or anything, inverse head and shoulders, but you look, it's held this area, hasn't it, for a while. You know, when you see a chart like this that's been down, puts in some lows, deviates the lows, comes back and kind of like holds this zone, they look, you know, unless the rest of the market mega nukes or anything like that, they just look like they're ready. They just look like they're ready to just break this downtrend, don't they, and push back up. Really, really simple chart. I just think it looks nice. Generally, it will run well with Sol, won't it? Okay. Murad's coin, SPX, still very much on trend. Just look at a 4-hour. I've had no edge in trading this really over the last week or so. It's just kind of destroying these perps levels. Yeah, not much edge in it. Your biggest level at the minute is down at that 1.2 if you want to trade SPX. I don't have much edge in that at all, to be honest. I always look at it because I know it does good volume on DEX, but yeah, we'll see. Right, WIF. Let's have a look at WIF. Is the hat staying on? Again, similar to Fartcoin, just holding. Wants to kind of hold this region, doesn't it? Okay, deviates below like Fartcoin did and wants to hold this region. Again, not something I'm actively looking to trade, but just be familiar that, you know, a lot of these coins are looking the same. I don't like the fact that the nearest spot level is there. You've got an offer above. You know, your risk reward really is if these bids start to come up for the long or for the short, obviously, if the offers start to attack. Perps market quite aggressively trying to get involved in WIF. Not sure why. Maybe someone's trying to make money back on the Sphere. 300 grand that went missing. Can't remember his name on Twitter who organised that, but absolutescam.com. Another coin that has been looking great. And I have to say, I missed this yesterday. I did miss it, full disclosure, so I can't be a cunt and talk about it too much. But Doge looking really good. You know, very well bid. Spot buyers getting heavily involved in Doge. Really, really. Depth of book, low open interest, spot bid. Then you get a voucher. You get various alerts in here. Again, these are alerts on the alert system. All right. No repainting, no redrawing, just pure raw data. That's what we like. Don't want anyone's opinion, you know, on where we were going. I know we all like to have an opinion, but it's got to be based on data. You know, if anyone's tweeting or is it in your Telegram or Discord chats going, ETH's going to 3.7k. Why is it? Tell me. Why is it? Right? Just give me some data. Show me a chart. Give me some pure raw data, not just lines on a chart as well, you know. And whatever else. Give me some fucking pure raw data. Why is it overheated and it needs to drop? Why is it bid? And it, you know, it's likely that it'll go up because as traders, that's what we do. We'll follow the data wherever that leads us, even if it leads us to some dark places. And we have to exit our spot bags and short the market back down. I do quite like being a bear though when the market gets overheated. Right, so Doge looking good. Illuminati Lizard Coin XRP, whatever you think about this, the order books are good on it, so you might want to get involved and start trading it. I've got some alerts on it. I did notice that it deviated these bids here and came back down again. Invalidation there 2.8, offers coming down as well, so something of note. So price action constricting, it could be due a move. I'm not too fussed for trading XRP a lot, really. It's not something I trade. The main ones I trade are up here at the top of my margin call watch list, right? But I have to acknowledge that the order books on XRP, the Illuminati Lizard Coin, are looking good. So if it presents a good trade, obviously that was a good lure there yesterday at 3 p.m. my time in the US session. If it does present another good trade again, deviating back down here for any reason, it might be one you want to take, you know, because it looks like it's coiling up a little bit. Rune, I always watch Rune. It's getting a bit of spot bid. I've not traded it in a long time on derivatives, to be honest. It's just, you'll have heard me say this before, sometimes Rune catches a really good bid, and I'm going to show you another coin in a second that did catch a really good bid. And when you see the aggressive bid come in on a coin like Rune, it's something you really want to take. The coin I was going to mention is Say, which is actually deviating its lows now, so that's a bag of bollocks. But I saw this, nice for a scalp though, nice for a scalp yesterday. If you see this sort of thing, okay, on any of the assets, it's something you want to have a look at taking. Maybe this player's taking this off a market bidding. I'm not sure. I've not traded this one. I've got it on Blofin derivatives, but Say is actually not on breakout prop, so you can't trade it on there anyway. But yeah, saw this last night. Didn't want to trade it because I was chilling, Netflix and chilling. Market has been slow, but just to point out that signature, look at that big order block, aggressive, probably like a 95 ratio bid depth there. And just because this limit order here, resting limit order, is gone, it doesn't mean that this is the wrong trade. Yeah, you know, sometimes you'll get this on these lower cap assets. What kind of volume it does? Good volume actually, where you will deviate these levels. Okay. If you're trading, if you're buying spot here, you're probably right. If you're trading derivatives, it's then your decision to say, shit, that level's been pulled. Can we go lower? Do I need to just cut this trade now? Or is your stop, and you've got good risk management below here, do you say, no, I'm buying demand, let the market sort me out? That's the way to always see this, okay? Linky Link, Stinky Link, fucking hellfire, it's doing so well, isn't it? I remember buying this at $1.80 back in the day. Did I hold? Nope. Did I? Fuck. Yeah, Link doing really well. It's still a good project, isn't it? Yeah, Sergey and that team, still a really good project. Probably still going to take over the derivatives market or some sort of shit for the stock market in the future, probably with a few other chains or whatever. But yeah, really good, and it's just moving so well. So yeah, you might, I actually don't know if I've got Link on many alerts, but it might be something I might need to start actively trading again. Destroying the supply side, comes back, consolidates for a little bit, nice depth of book, low up in interest, and up again. It's really trending. What does Perps look like? Yeah, Perps is a bit of a mess, to be honest, on Link. The only thing I would do if you're looking again on the derivatives and the chart looks a little bit of a mess, which it can do sometimes. I can read these quite quick. Just go to a really simple top level chart like that. And obviously what you see here is bid coming in at those lows at a similar time to when Bitcoin and ETH were putting in that potential low yesterday. Okay, bid chases up, offers moving up, offer moves right up, offers gone, right? Offers cleared, bid chasing up. Whether Link even comes back down, it's for me, it's going to get some continuation either way. That is exactly what you want to see on ETH. You want to see it on LDR. You know, you want to see it on some of those other coins. Bid in, offers moving up, fuck you, we're going higher. It's just classic textbook what you want to see if you are in from the lows. I don't chase green candles. Okay, it could be that in the US session we get a deviation down. Never chase these green candles, but it's exactly what we want to see. Yeah, if you are in for the lows, how the hell is price going to move, right? How does price move? It moves by a market bid or ask, or a limit bid or ask. If that limit, okay, gets filled and it's big enough volume to move the market. Price doesn't fucking move by any of your indicators on TradingView. It moves by a bid ask. That is why we use this console, okay? It's the only fucking thing that moves price. Nice video on that with Mark Douglas. Go check it out. I was going to post it in the chat, but I won't do. Yo, what's up, William? Yeah, if you're a little bit late, I will timestamp it afterwards for any of you espresso coffee drinkers. But if yeah, I'll timestamp it afterwards if you're watching this a little bit later on with a glass of champagne because you've done well in the market and you're showing your girlfriend the ultimate crypto trading console. then I will timestamp it so have a flip through those as well. But yeah, Link looks great. It just fucking looks great. ENA has been looking good, deviating a little bit, but look at this. So compare this to Link. Okay, this is what you don't want to see. And I have to say, ENA again. I think it was front running. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that on the. Yeah, ENA was front running everything else from back in July. ENA was up only, right, and now it's come back down, and it's back to what you potentially call a back test of support. But what you don't want to see, obviously, and comparing this to Link, is people have filled spot there, right? No doubt about it, they filled spot. Okay, you then come down and the bid runs lower, right? The bid runs lower. The offers are chasing down. It's like the opposite of Link, yeah? So Link's going up. ENA, is it a good buy here? For me, not really, and I probably wouldn't trade this in derivatives as well. It was looking good the other day right here, okay? And you probably got a couple of % for your money, okay? But then it just came down. What was happening as it came down? The rest of the market was coming down, wasn't it? Okay, so you've just got to accept that. You didn't get much money for your buck, and it came back down. And that was the same as AVAX at the weekend, actually. Where was AVAX? Here. Okay, so this was AVAX at the weekend. Absolute fire and forget risk reward trade. If anyone caught this one, I round tripped this a little bit because it was the weekend and I was having a bit of a family social. But yeah, this was at the weekend, AVAX. Okay, absolute fire and forget. You take the trade, your stops are below here, manage your risk. You go up, you got quite a nice percentage there, 9%. Your Citadel and your BlackRock bankers, if they got 9% in 24 hours, would be very, very happy. But again, it came down with the rest of the market. There was no particular signature on AVAX. You could say there was some light offers chasing price here to say exit position, but I guess you just had to be up at that time of the day or whenever it was to say, okay, the rest of the market looks like it's turning in this Asian session. We're probably going down. All right, but yeah, another nice one. AVAX doing good order books as well. Where were we up to? What's DOT doing? DOT was good the other week. DOT, again, really good order book. Again, look at this, right? So, look, whatever you think about the project, and I know we've covered DOT a couple of times, but whatever you think about the project, look at the risk reward on some of these trades. And it is a slow mover, so how long are you holding that for till you get to that top level? Okay, 3 days. Okay, 3 days. But for me, I still won't call that a swing position for me personally. A swing position for me is spot. All right, holding spot for months, weeks, months, weeks and months really, and then years obviously. I would still call that a potential day trade. I would just hold that. It's just moving up. But look at the order books on DOT. Really, really, really nice. Again, came back to demand. Why did it deviate below? Simply the rest of the market wasn't it? Again, nice to see the offers moving up. Was that already there? Oh, that was already there. That offer was already there on DOT. Right, so we'll have a look at a couple of other things. Give me a shout if I need to look at anything. William says, I will have the glass of champagne once my big... is it William that keep... Oh, good job. That was good timing then, wasn't it? That we just looked at that. Once my big buy DOT brings me that 100%... I think the most about Link instead of 15 bucks. 15 bucks, yeah. I think Link will do well. I think Link will still do well. It's got Link rather than some of the other projects. He's still got a very active team, hasn't it? Is doing well. Maker is well spot bid. I was watching this yesterday at that level. Okay. Said to the guys in the Discord, I'm going to leave it for now. Great risk reward trade, but I know it's a slow mover. I know it's a very slow mover. It doesn't do much volume. It was just at some daily and 4-hour lows. Okay, so it was a good risk reward, but it's just a little bit of a messy chart, and we'll see perps there as well. So left that alone yesterday. If you're going to pick anything, what do you want to trade? Do you want to trade Maker that gives you maybe 1.5%, or do you want to trade Pengu or something else that you're familiar with trading that is going to give you 8% in a day? So sometimes I have these levels in mind. It comes to the level, do I want to trade? Do I think Bitcoin and ETH is going to go a little bit lower? Yes. Okay, well, I'm not going to fucking enter this right here, right now. All right, so that's sometimes the way to look at that. Couple of others to look at. Let's just flip through a couple of others. Uni. Yeah, order books right. So I used to like trading Sue when the chain was a little bit more active, but I think it's a little bit dead now since that hack, unfortunately. Teo, not a lot to see there. Say, we've looked at just deviating down. IP, yeah, IP story protocol. Don't really give a flying fuck about the project, but it has really good order books. Look at this, bid chasing up on perps. So if you come back down today, keep an eye on IP. I actually don't know if I've got it in my perps alt double bands. I might need to add it in. So if you're keeping an eye on an asset, you put it in. I don't know if I've got space. No, I've not got space. I'm going to have to get rid of one. I'm going to get rid of Sue because it's a bag of bollocks. Right, IP, USDT. Okay, that's all we do. Okay, so we're looking at these levels. If we come back down, I'll get an alert if I get perps, alts, double band. So it kind of look like this zone here or maybe that zone there. And I know that I've got a good big limit offer there. Sorry, offer bid there at that 5.56. That's going to be a nice zone. If you come down, get an alert in that zone. Okay, good risk reward. Good risk reward. OM, Mantra, no, don't give a shit about that. STX has had a really odd perps chart at the minute. Don't know what's going on with that one. S, Sonic. Yeah, I always watch these because you never know if it, you know, sometimes you'll watch them like TRB we've seen in the past. I think I trade TRB once or twice a year, knowing that if it comes down and gives me a really good bid signature, it does like 100 or 200% pumps out of absolutely nowhere. I don't know if CZ's trading it or something, but it's ridiculous. So yeah, keep an eye on those. BNB's been interesting. I don't always trade BNB. If I do trade BNB, more often than not, it's going to be to the long side. You know, this is a very valid kind of short position or TP on any longs. Do I want to short something that is controlled by Binance and, you know, quite a big chain nowadays? No, not really. Perps market was quite active yesterday. The guys were showing me this. So look, this wall, it did hold for so long. And, you know, you probably got 1.5–2% out of that big supply. And you could have potentially hoped to come back down to this 751. But that's quite a big percentage move for BNB. Lower your expectations on the downside for BNB. That's all I would say. And then as you went up, I wasn't watching at the time, but I don't think that filled. I think, would you call that a spoof? Yeah, maybe, because I do think that looks like it was pulled last minute. All right, but keep an eye on BNB. Just for the long side, really, I would say. A couple of others. Anything else looking good? No, not really. I could go through a load of other assets, but I won't do. I guess the main thing you want to do now, to be honest, is if you're wanting to get involved in anything, either way. Look, I think you want to rise up a little bit. We'll just check the screener. So this is the trader screener, TRDR.io screener. I think if you want to get involved in anything, you need a little bit of a rise for any more shorts, to be honest. I don't think you want to be short in the market right here, right now, unless the bigger assets get super aggressive, okay, and just start applying offers right on top of price. At the minute, I would have a look at the long side, okay? So I can just see my LDO there. First thing I looked at this morning. Good ratios. I know the open interest down. The funding rate on LDO, which we got involved in this morning, pretty chill. Okay, so LDO's up there. Hype, we know is well bid. AR, do I want to look at that? Is that R-Weave? Yeah, I might want to have a look at that, actually. Let's have a little look. You never know. No, just a mess, isn't it? No one's really trading this. The tick count on it's probably crap. Yeah, and that's the case. You'll see that on a lot of derivatives on some of these altcoins. And then going down, yeah, not a lot else. So let's have a look. Is there any mega funding rate bargains? CFX, yeah, you could have a look at that. Sometimes it just takes seconds to have a look. Okay, no, a bit of a mess. Yeah, probably people trying to short this back down because it's spiked up. Very messy chart, isn't it? I've got no edge in that, and that's what you have to say to yourself sometimes. But yeah, regards to OBDs, JUP, which is obviously part of the Solana, Ecosystem is well bid, but just by spot. Does it mean you have to trade it on derivatives? No, just leave it alone. Yeah, not a lot. So yeah, I'm liking LD obviously. Jup is bid. Some of these others are well bid on spotted, but if you actually look at them, there's probably not too much edge there, to be honest. So yeah, let's see what we get today. BTC, not really doing too much, is it? Overall, so we'll summarize on BTC unless anyone's got anything else to look at. Stock market obviously pulling back quite a bit, to be expected. Is it overheated? Yeah, probably. Jim Cramer called for all-time highs on Palantir. That marked the top. Well done, Jim. Once again, absolutely undefeated. But yeah, all tech stocks have been pulling back a little bit. Does that mean we need to change our bias on crypto? No, I don't think so. There's a certain correlation still going on with Bitcoin to tech stocks, but I really think it'll do its own thing, to be honest. So summary on BTC, okay, and then we'll look to close out. So drop any questions if you've got them. Okay, bullish divergences, liquidity's low, so you want to be looking to be long-sided, even if we deviate down. Okay, first invalidation is still 110. It just is. I don't care if anyone's speculating on going lower. We've discussed 18, 109, but invalidation is still 110 there on BTC. Markets are bid. I'd just like to see, if we're going to move up from here, I just want to see a little bit more aggression from perps, really pushing in and sending this up. Biggest level on perps to the top side is actually 122, so that would be nice. What we got on spot? Let's go to the big old all important top level over there. So there we go. So I've got levels marked here as well. So we are below range. So the range lows, this probably isn't quite right, okay, but it's right around where the monthly open is. At that 115 level, you can see you've got a couple of offers here and a little bit of spot bid, and our biggest order block, which is obviously that 110 defending price. Okay, so we came down, we took the last 2 weeks of lows there yesterday at that 112.3 level, so that's nice to see. But I think we can move up from here, but is it going to be right here right now? Maybe not. I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow grind. I think if anyone's in longs here at spot, then it's probably the right call. Derivatives traders could quite easily get time capitulation here, because maybe you longed back here a couple of days ago or whenever, and you're getting bored in the market. You start to question your decision making on whether you should be long here. Well, if you are long here, you just have to accept that, this is your invalidation. It's been reinforced a little bit as well over the last 24 hours. Okay, don't high leverage in right here, right now, if you're in the belief that you can come a little bit lower. Okay, don't blow up in this crabs, chop zone in here, when there's potential to come down here, okay, and then you come back up. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Light leverage in here, keep it steady, just keep it steady. What else to summarize on? Yeah, volume looking nice, all looking good in the hood. But yeah, ETH, summarize on ETH. Perps market have been trying to get involved here. Okay, you can see someone's moving that bid up. Initially, when we started the stream, invalidation for a potential higher low here. I would still say around here, that 4.2k level. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So swap says 14.3 perp wall just above 4-hour RWAP. What's an RWAP? I know VWAP and all the others. Yo, what's up, FMC? FMC runs a lot of live sessions. If you're into a bit of that German precision on the data, go follow FMC. Swaps, what's an RWAP? RWAP. What's an RWAP? RWAP. Yeah, so you want ETH to start to hold around here if you're not in already, and put in this kind of like lower high and then move up. Sol, not a lot to say on Sol. I've already mentioned that already. Hype has got this level at 39.5. LTC, not a lot to show there. And yeah, LDO, I think, is looking one of the better ones. Invalidation initially for me, 1.24, 1.25, somewhere down here. Happy to cut that if it doesn't hold here and just start to move up. All right. Rolling VWAP. Nice. Never heard of it. It just shows you, that just shows you how basic I am. Yeah, but I do like LDO here, but yeah, we'll see on BTC. All right, guys. So look, Don't get too excited. Don't get too over bearish here. Don't get too over bullish, because I just think BTC is in a little bit of a crab zone. Maybe for the coming days. I know there's a few things going on in the stock market, Jackson Hole and all that bollocks. Do I really care about that? No, not really. If BTC does come into this area, I'd still want to do a bit of business. I'd still want to do a bit of business on here, to be honest. It's a VWAP of fixed time, RWAP, 30 days of something. Nice. Yeah, I put weight on those. I look at weekly VWAPs, monthly VWAPs. I do put a bit of weight on those with other conferences. Rolling VWAP, right? I'll have a look at that then. Maybe it's maybe that's going to become my new alpha. Rolling VWAP. All right, guys, look, we'll summarize there. I'm glad this stream didn't freeze today. If anyone needs me, jump in the Discord, jump in the Trader Telegram. That's really where I hang around, to be honest. Keep an eye on the screener. Lots happening. Mainly, the perps market is going to be active because people are trying to buy the fucking dip and keep getting liquidated. For me personally, I would keep an eye on the spot markets. As long as your spot levels are holding to a certain extent, you can't go too far wrong on these kind of dips. All right, guys. So yeah, we'll call it there. I will timestamp it. If you've joined late, I'll timestamp it. Big BTC summary at the beginning, and why I don't think the macro for the coming months and year top is quite in yet. All right, guys, jump on the links below for a free trial and all the juicy stuff. Another update next week. I will try and run some more lives. Being on holiday a little bit, trying to relax and get a few chores done for Mrs. Nick, as she's on holiday as well, and got me in the garden doing chores and various bits and bobs. But yeah, have a good one, have a good week, and we will speak soon. Cheers, guys.